For my project, I chose to analyze a movement of me at the climbing gym. I enjoy bouldering, with the best part being getting to the top of a climb. So my purpose for this movement is to complete the move and reach the next hold, then establish a comfortable position in order to increase my odds of completing or ascending the climb. In climbing, there are two general styles of movement methods. There's static movements, which are slow, calculated, and involves a lot of what's called locking off, which is engaging the muscles and holding them there in order to reach the next hold precisely. The other style is dynamic climbing, which makes use of momentum and fluid motions. Both of these styles are incorporated when climbing, and knowing when to use each can help you stay on the wall. This video is an example of a dynamic move, which fits the concept of the three-phase movements well. The joints I will be looking at are the left shoulder, scapula, and left hip. The preparation movement in the left shoulder is adduction, with the active muscle being the anterior fibers of the deltoid contracting eccentrically. Then during the acceleration phase, the movement is abduction, with the primary muscle being the anterior deltoid contracting concentrically. The follow-through phase movement is still abduction, with the primary muscle being the latissimus dorsi contracting eccentrically. The scapula prep phase movement starts with downward rotation, with the upper fibers of the trapezius contracting eccentrically. In the acceleration phase, the scapula rotates upward via concentric contraction of the upper fibers of the trapezius, and in the follow-through phase, the scapula is rotating upward, but is slowed down by eccentric contraction of the lower fibers of the trapezius. Finally, the left hip starts with abduction, with the eccentric contraction of the adductor longus. Then the hip adducts in the acceleration phase, with the adductor longus contracting concentrically. And in the follow-through phase, to slow the adduction, the upper fibers of the gluteus maximus contract eccentrically. As I contract each of the muscles in the video, I put a force onto the holds in the wall, which responds by applying a force onto me due to Newton's third law of motion. The forces as well come from outside of my center of mass, meaning there is a torque applied onto me. The main driver of this motion is the left leg pressing off the wall, which causes a torque and makes me face to my left. So to counteract this torque, the core is used to lessen the swinging of my legs, and I rely on the left arm to center my upper body while the right arm stabilizes. These intricacies are not a conscious part of climbing, but are necessary to do in order to be successful. Improper technique in climbing can result in injury, so when doing this movement, I made sure not to hyperextend any joints, and I used the least amount of force necessary to stick the move and stay on the wall.